Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, July the 24th. We are starting off with Stage 1, and we are doing it the long way. Translation? We're landing on the right-hand side and flaring our tanks around all over the joint and just letting them take forever to get anywhere. Because that's what tanks do. That's their thing. Also, if you in theory had level 1 tanks, hopefully you'd be able to replicate this attack with relative ease, or at least some kind of ease. After your tanks make it to the HQ, they're going to shoot at it, nothing's going to be able to shoot at you, you're going to get your win. That's Stage 1. It has 50,000 hit points on the HQ, not a big deal. Stage 2, 180k. The fuck? Like, as an FAQ, because it's a frequently asked question. And the frequently asked question is, what the fuck? Like, 3 times the hit points. The other crazy thing is, there's a boom cannon right there. I know you can see it. 12k hit points. 12k hit points. Ermagerd. Hit points. Yeah, I honestly, it's awesome because you don't have to kill that boom cannon. It will sit down there all day long and not touch you as long as you're using tanks and you're positioned roughly where I'm positioned. Same thing with that sniper tower, which is pretty big and scary looking. It's not going to do anything super scary to you because it can't reach you. Thank goodness, too, because then you can move on to Stage 3. And Stage 3 looks like a tough one. It looks like a tough nut to crack, but it's one of those Stage 3s where, like, if you're only taking down Stage 2 on the reg, this is your Stage 3. This is the Stage 3 where you might be able to, like, push that envelope. And the reason is because, as you can see, we're cutting right up the middle. So it's one of these lovely little middle bases where there's boom cannons on the right. Here I am stuck in the... Every time that song! 146,000 hit points on the HQ. There are a couple of different levels of boom cannons, I believe. No. On this one, only one level of boom cannon at 6k. There is a shock launcher at 12k, but you don't have to kill any shock launchers or boom cannons. You just have to run right up the middle and stay out of the range of everything. And basically you'll get a nice, easy win here. You take down, I think it's like 3, 4, maybe 5 defensive buildings. Alright, now that the count's getting up there, I'm going to go with 6, 7. Alright, back down to like 5 or 6. Anyways, then we can move on to Stage 4. Stage 4 actually has the 2 different leveled boom cannons. The one, like the higher level, I guess you could say, is 8k, but there is one floating around out there at like 7.5k. Not a big difference. We can round up and call it a day. There's also a shock launcher floating around with 15,000 on it, or a couple shock launchers floating around with 15,000 on them. And the good news is we can avoid at least one of them, but one of them we need to blow up, and that's gonna hurt your GBE. But once that shock launcher is down, you've got a lot of buildings and a lot of time before you have to start dropping more. Unfortunately, you will have to drop more, and unfortunately, it will be right next to the HQ. There's 3 boom cannons, all around that 7,500 to 8,000 range. So keep that in mind. I would suggest strongly that you try to make it through as much of this level without doing anything. Like, don't shock for your troops, don't heal for your troops, don't do anything. Use all of that GBE on the various targets that you need to blow up, because Stage 4 is nasty and it's gonna be hard. Now, if you can throw shocks, right there is a great one. One of the few I would suggest you use. It takes out 2 sniper towers and a cannon, all with 1 shock, and it basically buys you enough time to try and clear that area out as you move up towards the HQ. Now, the good news is, if you end up making it to the HQ with all of these things blown up because of GBE, once you're here, it really is easy road to loot. Like, there's nothing around. You've already blown it all up. Also, I know I threw a bunch of heals. Don't do that. That's just me trying to avoid having to reload tanks, and spend diamonds and whatnot. If you're pushing your max at stage 4, by all means, just eat the losses. Lose a couple of tanks, you're going to get the rest of the loot, and it'll make it all worthwhile. Moving on to stage 5. 200k on the HQ, 9k on the boom cannon, 16.5 on the shock launcher, and as you can see here, we're starting off with a boom cannon right on the beach. Now the nice thing is, one shock, you can get the sniper tower, the cannon, and the boom cannon all at the same time. You just have to be very careful on where you place it. Basically, if you pretend there was a defense between the cannon and the boom cannon, you would want to put it right on the line between those. So like right on the line of the boom cannon towards the empty gap, if that makes sense. If you put the shock right there, you're going to hit all 4 buildings, and your tanks will hopefully be able to take out, at the very least, the boom cannon. At best, like maybe the boom cannon and the cannon. And if you're rocking really nice high-level tanks or boosting or something, take out all 3. But as long as you get that boom cannon down, that's really the important part. Also, coming over to the right hand side when we're coming through here, take note of where I was throwing shocks, because you can throw shocks that hit a lot of different defenses in this attack, which is kind of nice because you're getting the most bang for your buck, if you would. Excuse me. Now, after you've taken down everything in the top right hand corner, basically let your tanks swoop in, and they will slowly pick off the remaining defenses. And once everything is kind of cleared out, you can flare everything together again in range of the HQ, and you can blow it the poop up. Poop. That's right. Anyway, moving on to stage 6. And stage 6 is an interesting one. Definitely not like yesterday, don't worry. Don't worry, we're not talking stage, 7A and stage 7B. We're just talking stage 6. But everything is clustered really nicely into that back corner. And there's enough GBE fodder, or as I like to call it, tank food, that you can pretty much bomb the snot out of that entire corner and clean it up so it's nice and easy for your tanks to mow through. As you can see here, flaring into the corner after just taking out a handful of defenses, and then all my tanks will roll up on this little cluster, and you can see, all of these defenses are getting very badly hurt. The really nice thing about the 2 shock launchers and the boom cannon all being so close together, basically 3 barrages should be able to clear them all out. I had kind of bad aim, but it should be doable. Also, make sure you do keep a little bit of your GBE available to throw at those mines, because there are a bunch of boom mines in there, and they will do bad things to you. Moving on. So, in the bottom right-hand corner, you should be fairly safe from most of the bad defenses. There is a boom cannon just to the right. Be very mindful of that, because your tanks will want to drift towards it, and it wants your tanks to drift towards it so that it can do horrible, horrible bad things to them. Like creepy Uncle Fred bad things. So don't do it. Just don't go. Flare everything down to the bottom left-hand corner, and let the shock launcher in the background toss shocks at you, but take down the HQ while it happens. If you do have some spare GBE, you can just throw the stuns and shock the shock And that way, you don't have to really worry about it, and it won't slow you down. And we can move on to Stage 7, which I'm going to label Stage 8, because holy smokes, this Stage 7 kicked my butt, not once, not twice, but thrice, before I eventually just freaked out on it and was like, that's it, I'm boosting, I'm doing it. So, this attack, GBE, is indeed boosted. And the crazy thing is, it doesn't come off as an incredibly difficult base right away. It only has 324k on the HQ, the boom cannons only have 15k on them, and the shock launchers only have 19k. So like, HP is really, really low, but it's the insane 170% health bonus on all of the buildings, so, you know, it's not just a few that are gonna slow your tanks down. They're all gonna have beastly amounts of HP, but there's so many of them, and they're so clumped together, and all those sniper towers and cannons, they chew you up. I did try various things. I tried going up the left-hand side and coming around, getting all that free GBE from all those machine guns and flamethrowers. Problem being, I ran out of time because I wasn't boosting any damage, and everything has a lot of hit points. So then I tried going around right-hand side, and I ran out of steam because I ran out of GBE, and I wasn't able to take down all the boom cannons and shock launchers and various things. So, you know, I retried that one because it was pretty close, and I kind of tried to do like the hybrid of the two, where you can see I can land along the shore and, you know, farm up a little GBE and then flare down into the corner and move up, which was probably the closest of them all. Unfortunately, I wimped out because I didn't think it would be doable, and I ran my troops away. And honestly, it might have worked, but I was just like, you know what? The level calls for it. Let's do it. And you know what? I'm not disappointed, because as you can see, rolling through with the boosted tanks, I am having little to no problem. Alright, not no problem, but I am doing significantly better than running away in defeat. Anyways, this has been Dr. T for the 24th. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully it's been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day and are able to take down the Doctor without having to boost. If anyone does have any success going up the left-hand side of Stage 7, please let me know down in the comments. I know a lot of people have been asking for a lot of different things, and guys, I am trying, I promise you. And I guess, good luck. See you tomorrow.